The city pulsed with a frenetic energy. Skyscrapers scraped the sky, casting long shadows over the bustling streets below. Cars honked, sirens wailed, and the murmur of a million conversations created a constant urban hum. It was a city that never slept, a concrete jungle teeming with life and opportunity, where dreams were chased and destinies forged. Amidst this urban sprawl, hidden in plain sight, danger lurked in the shadows. Unbeknownst to the unsuspecting citizens going about their day, a threat to their very lives was brewing. A countdown had begun, and the fate of the city hung precariously in the balance. Aryan Mehra, a young undercover officer, blended seamlessly into the urban tapestry. His sharp eyes, hidden beneath the brim of a baseball cap, constantly scanned his surroundings. Aryan was on a mission, a perilous assignment that had plunged him deep into the city's underbelly. For months, Aryan had been infiltrating a notorious criminal gang, earning their trust, becoming one of them. His objective, to gather intel on their illicit activities and bring them to justice. Little did he know that his mission was about to take a terrifying turn, leading him to a race against time to save his city from a catastrophic attack. The clock on the wall ticked relentlessly, each second echoing the tension that filled the air. As the meticulously planned bank heist swung into action, the robbers moved with precision and purpose. Kabir Malik, the mastermind behind the operation, exuded an icy calm that seemed almost unnatural. His demeanor belied the chaos unfolding around him, a stark contrast to the panic that gripped the bank. His team, a group of highly skilled criminals, moved with ruthless efficiency, each member knowing their role to perfection. Their movements were synchronized, their faces obscured by masks, creating an aura of invincibility. Within minutes, the bank's security systems were compromised, the alarms silenced, and the cameras disabled. The terrified employees and customers were herded together like cattle, their fear palpable and raw. Fear hung heavy in the air, a palpable entity as Kabir's men emptied the vault, their bags overflowing with cash. The operation was flawless, a testament to Kabir's meticulous planning and his team's ruthless efficiency. Every detail had been accounted for, every contingency planned. Kabir's mind worked like a well-oiled machine, anticipating every possible outcome. His team, handpicked for their skills and loyalty, executed the plan with military precision. They moved through the bank like shadows, unseen and unstoppable. The hackers, hidden away in a remote location, worked tirelessly to ensure the bank's defenses remained down. Their screens flickered with lines of code, each keystroke bringing them closer to their goal. The robbers, armed and ready, kept a watchful eye on the hostages, their gloved hands gripping their weapons tightly. The vault door swung open, revealing stacks of cash that seemed almost endless. The robbers' eyes gleamed with anticipation as they began to fill their bags. Kabir watched with satisfaction, a slight smile playing on his lips. This was his masterpiece, a heist that would go down in history. As the robbers made their escape, moving swiftly and efficiently, Kabir knew that they had pulled off the perfect crime. The bank heist had unfolded exactly as planned, a testament to their skill and precision. By the time the police arrived, it was too late. The robbers were long gone, leaving behind a scene of chaos and confusion. The headlines the next day would tell the story of a bank heist executed with military precision, a daring crime that left the authorities baffled and the public in awe. And as Kabir walked away, blending into the crowd, he knew that this was just the beginning. The world would soon know his name, and the legend of Kabir Malik would be born. As Aryan observed the heist unfold, his blood ran cold. This was no ordinary robbery. The sheer precision, the military-style tactics, the cold-blooded determination in Kabir's eyes, it all pointed to something far more sinister. His suspicions were confirmed when he intercepted a coded message, his heart pounding in his chest as he deciphered the chilling truth. The bank heist was not about the money. It was a meticulously orchestrated funding operation for a large-scale terrorist attack. The city was the target, and the clock was ticking. Aryan knew he had stumbled upon something far bigger and more dangerous than he could have ever imagined. Section 5. Ticking clock, mounting tension, infiltration and action. With only 45 minutes to avert disaster, Aryan knew he couldn't wait for backup. The stakes were higher than ever, and the clock was mercilessly ticking down. Every second that passed brought the city closer to catastrophe. He had to act, and act fast. The streets blurred around him as he sprinted, his mind racing with the gravity of the situation. There was no room for error, no time for second-guessing. Aryan's training kicked in, his instincts guiding him through the chaos. Slipping away from the bank unnoticed, Aryan contacted his handler, his voice a strained whisper as he relayed the terrifying information. The urgency in his tone was unmistakable, and his handler's response was immediate, though equally tense. They both knew the odds were slim, but failure was not an option. Every second counted, and Aryan was acutely aware of the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. The pressure was immense, but he couldn't afford to let it paralyze him. His thoughts were a whirlwind, but his focus remained razor-sharp. Their plan was hastily formed, a desperate gamble against time. They had no choice but to move forward with what little information they had. The blueprint of the bank was their only guide, and Aryan studied it intently, memorizing every detail. Aryan would infiltrate the bank again, this time to disable the bomb Kabir had planted. The memory of Kabir's cold, calculating eyes haunted him, but he pushed it aside. There was no room for fear, only action. The fate of the city rested on his shoulders, on his ability to navigate a web of danger and outmaneuver a ruthless enemy. The laser security system was a formidable obstacle, but Aryan's agility and precision were unmatched. He moved like a shadow, silent and unseen, every step bringing him closer to the bomb. The tension was palpable, each moment a test of his resolve and skill. As he approached the device, his hands steady despite the adrenaline coursing through his veins, Aryan knew that this was the moment of truth. The city's future hinged on his success, and he was determined not to let it down. Section 6. Divided Loyalties. Aryan's Internal Struggle. As Aryan crept back into the bank, his mind raced. The shadows seemed to whisper his doubts, each step echoing the turmoil within him. He had spent countless nights planning, strategizing, and now, as he moved through the dimly lit corridors, the weight of his decisions bore down on him. He had spent months getting close to Kabir, earning his trust. Every handshake, every shared laugh had been a calculated move. But in the process, Aryan had seen a side of Kabir that few knew, a side that was vulnerable, human. He had witnessed firsthand the pain and anger that fueled Kabir's actions, the injustices that had led him down this dark path. Doubts gnawed at Aryan. He remembered the stories Kabir had shared, tales of betrayal and loss, of a system that had turned its back on him. Each story had chipped away at Aryan's resolve, making him question the very foundation of his mission. Was Kabir truly a monster, or a product of a system that had failed him? Aryan's mind was a battlefield, torn between duty and empathy. The lines between right and wrong blurred, leaving him in a haze of uncertainty. The weight of his mission pressed down on him, the knowledge that countless lives hung in the balance. Every decision he made could tip the scales, leading to salvation or destruction. The pressure was immense, almost suffocating. Aryan knew he had to stop Kabir, but a part of him couldn't help but feel a flicker of sympathy for the man who had become his friend, his confidant. The bond they had formed was genuine, built on shared experiences and mutual respect. Yet the mission demanded that he see Kabir as the enemy. This internal struggle, this battle of loyalties, was tearing him apart. Aryan's heart ached with the weight of his choices, knowing that whatever path he chose, there would be no turning back. Section 7. Face to Face. A tense standoff. Aryan found Kabir in the bank's vault, surrounded by bags of money, his eyes cold and calculating. Time seemed to stand still as their eyes met, a silent acknowledgement of the game they were playing. Kabir's voice, when he spoke, was quiet, almost conversational, but laced with an underlying threat. "I knew you wouldn't let me down, Aryan," Kabir said, a humorless smile playing on his lips. "I knew you'd come." Aryan's hand hovered near his concealed weapon, his heart pounding against his ribs. He had to maintain his cover, buy himself some time. Section 8. The Final Showdown. Disarming the Threat. "You're wrong, Kabir," Aryan said, his voice steady despite the turmoil raging within him. "This isn't about me. It's about the lives you're about to destroy." A tense silence stretched between them, punctuated by the ticking of the bomb that served as a stark reminder of the stakes. In a flash, the standoff erupted into a flurry of movement. A struggle ensued, a desperate dance between two skilled combatants, each move calculated, each blow potentially fatal. Aryan, drawing on his training, managed to overpower Kabir, his hands working frantically to disarm the bomb as precious seconds ticked by.